the circumstances of that window and the glass and the clothing, and you can easily draw the expert opinion that it was not staged.
In the ensuing weeks, the prosecution produced witnesses, including this homeless man, who placed the defendants near the scene on the night of the murder.
Coraggio sets the two youngsters in Via della Pergola, not even a distance of 100 meters from the house of the murder. And they wait, and Raffaele looks over many times towards the house, probably waiting for Rudy to arrive.
The night he saw them, the witness testified, there were many kids waiting to board buses headed to the discos. The defense claimed that his testimony was untrue.
It turns out that that particular night was a holiday, the discos weren't open, and the buses weren't running. Therefore, for whatever this individual is claiming he saw, he's simply mistaken.
Nevertheless, the court believed him. The prosecution moved on to the forensic evidence. 5 spots found in the house where Meredith's blood was mixed with Amanda's DNA. The defense tried to shoot it down.
The argument on the defense's side has always been these two girls lived in the house. Of course their DNA and blood and substances would be mixed together.
Next, the prosecution presented the alleged murder weapon, an 8-inch kitchen knife taken from Raffaele's apartment. The knife, they claimed, had the victim's DNA on the blade and Amanda's DNA on the handle. Only the victim's DNA sample was too low to be conclusive.
The defense was shocked that the knife was allowed into evidence because the DNA sample on the blade was not big enough to double test.
Outside of the courtroom, experts like forensic scientist Elizabeth Johnson have challenged the tests performed by Italy's scientific police.
I think the evidence collected from the knife is certainly questionable. The amount of DNA that was present is from very few cells. The knife was swabbed. All of that material was used. So the court was asked to accept that one result.
A test like this one was performed on the knife to detect traces of blood. None were found. What's more, most of the wounds on Meredith's neck were too narrow to have been made by this knife.
To say that this knife was the murder weapon used in a brutal, bloody murder is really overreaching.